This is the Yankees Postcast, your instant game reaction for the New York Yankees. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
All right, let's do it. Rubber game of 3 today between the Yanks and the Rays. It does not go New York's way. A 7-5 win for Tampa. They take 2 of 3 from New York. Bad defense, bad offense, bad bullpen. Rough day all around for the Yankees. Not to mention there was a rain delay, and it rained at several points during the game. So again, a rough all-around day for the Yankees. 7-5, the final score. Hello, everyone. I'm Jay Berman. If you're a New Yorker, you might recognize my work. If not, welcome aboard. Spent more than 2 decades in the biz, everything from TV to web to radio. Glad to have you aboard. Please follow me on X at Jay Berman, Jayberman. Welcome to the Locked On Yankees Postcast, both on the Locked On Yankees YouTube channel and the Locked On Yankees podcast feed. The Postcast gives you a place to chat after every game. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Also want to tell you this episode is brought to you by Monarch Money. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your very first year. All right, folks, let's do it.
This is what you'll be talking about.
All right, the 3 phases of baseball, if you will, pitching, hitting, and defense. Well, the Yankees didn't really have any of it today. Again, they lose 7-5, the final score. We'll start with the pitching. Will Warren, 4 2/3, 7 hits, 5 runs, 3 earned. The Yankees obviously needed length out of Will Warren, which is why he threw 102 pitches, lasting just 4 2/3. By the way, his season ERA now 5.65. And to be quite honest, the ERAs of the Yankees bullpen arms today, not very good. Will Warren, 4 2/3, 3 earned. His ERA is 5.65. Tyler Matzik, his ERA is 5.40. He replaced Warren. Carlos Carrasco in there to take one on the chin. 3 innings, 2 earned, 46 pitches. His ERA now below 6. So again, the combination of Warren, Matzik, and Carrasco could not hold the light-hitting Rays down. Now, specifically with the lineup in regard to the Rays, how about the bottom of the lineup? Travis Jankowski, who was hitting under 200 coming in, 3 hits. Travis Walls, who was hitting under 200 coming in, 4 hits. In fact, Walls had 4 hits and upped his average to 192. So again, 7 hits from 2 of the bottom 3 players in the Rays lineup. Meanwhile, Diaz and Aranda also had 3 hits apiece. Simpson had 2. In fact, 16 hits for the Rays today. Not great pitching. As for the defense, more costly errors, 2 more huge ones for the Yankees. And considering the defense, or at least the defensive lineup, no Jazz, no Volpe. We'll get to him with the injury scare. So the Yankees starting lineup had Grisham at the top, obviously Judge, Bellinger, and Goldschmidt. Escara behind the plate, Reyes at second, Cabrera at third, Peraza at short. So it just goes to show, 1, when you're dealing with injuries, everyone's going to suffer. And 2, it's really hard to have good players in backup spots. And we saw that from the Yankees. Trent Grisham had 2 hits. Aaron Judge with an 8th inning double extends his hitting streak to 14 games. Also a 30-game on-base streak. In fact, he had 2 at-bats, 1 in the 8th, 1 in the 9th. Obviously, the Yankees scoring 3 times in the 8th to get Judge that extra at-bat, looking for a hit in the 9th inning, which would have been a multiple-hit game, which would have been his 18th multi-hit game of the season, by far the most in baseball, but he did not come through in that 9th inning. Cody Bellinger did hit a home run. It brought the Yankees back to within, we'll call it creeping distance, if you will. For Bellinger, the home run was his 4th of the season and the 200th of his career. What's interesting is he becomes the 30th Yankee, or at least the 30th player all time, to hit his 200th home run as a Yankee. So again, congrats to Bellinger. Paul Goldschmidt had another hit. His average now at 349. As for Aaron Judge, we told you about the double in the 8th inning, which started the rally. Again, at least got the Yankees close. Judge had a 1-for-5 day, actually drops his average all the way down to 423. So again, Judge with the hit. Escara had a chance in that faithful 8th inning, really to tie the game with one swing. Instead, it turned into a 1-2-3 rally killing double play. And again, the Yankees were in the rally just as quickly as they were out of it. All right, Yankees had 8 hits, just 2 extra base hits, 6 singles. The home run for Bellinger, an extra base hit, and the double for Judge to right center field in the 8th inning. That was it as far as extra base hits. And again, those 2 huge errors from the Yankees. As for the pitching for Tampa, looked like the Yankees would get to Bradley early, but he managed to weather the storm, if you will. 5 1/3 for Taj Bradley, 2 earned, 88 pitches. He earns the win. Montgomery, Rodriguez, Engler, Uceda, and then eventually Fairbanks, who is one of the elite closers in the American League. Back-to-back saves for Fairbanks. Back-to-back 1-2-3 innings. In fact, today he struck out the side in the 9th inning, so not much from the Yankees as far as a threat in that 9th inning. Now, as far as the defense, as far as the lineup, we will never go as far as to call it a game that was punted by the manager, especially when there's injuries involved. However, the combination of the infield, again, Peraza at short, Cabrera at third, Reyes at second, and we'll even throw in the catcher, J.C. Escara, who again moved to third base after double switches in that 8th inning. And again, weak bottom part of the lineup for the Yankees. Escara, Reyes, Cabrera, and Peraza, they had just 1 hit between them. By the way, congrats to Yorbi Vivas, who got his first major league hit, and it happened to be a big one. It drove in 2 runs in the bottom of the 8th inning, and it got the Yankees to within 2 at 7-5, and obviously the 9th inning comes around and no good there. Again, the Yankees lose it 7-5. That's a series loss to an AL East foe. The Yanks are now 19-15, still atop the American League East. They're 11-7 at home. Rays are 16-18, 7-5 away. All right, we'll get to, of course, player of the game. We will get to the schedule coming up, a very interesting series against the San Diego Padres as the National League West, one of the best teams in the National League, one of the best teams in baseball for that matter. They come to town in excellent pitching matchups for all 3 matchups. We'll get to it. We also have to update the injury notes and, again, get your probables for the coming week. All right, when we come back, as we said, player of the game and much, much more. All right, ever check your bank account and wonder where did all the money go? Well, between dining out, online shopping, and entertainment, it's easy to lose track. That's where Monarch Money comes in, your personal CFO giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app, it's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, investments, and spending in one place, so you stop just managing your money and you start building your wealth. When I started using Monarch Money, I realized just how much I was spending on food delivery. Now I budget smarter and save more. Instead of juggling multiple apps, you can use Monarch to check your finances, track spending, and even plan long-term goals. Easy collaboration. Also, managing money with your partner is smoother than ever. You can track shared and personal accounts, set goals, and stay on the same page without the stress. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONNBA at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONMLB for half of your first year. All right, next up is Upwork. Scaling your business requires the right expertise at the right time. With Upwork, you can find specialized freelancers in marketing, development, design, and more. Experts ready to help you take your business to the very next level. Upwork gives businesses flexibility by connecting them with top freelance talent across multiple industries, including IT, AI, web development, and marketing. Whether you need extra hands for a project or a long-term partner, Upwork makes hiring simple and affordable. Finding the right talent. Well, if you need help with a marketing campaign, Upwork can connect you with a freelancing expert who delivered incredible results. Posting a job is free and simple, and within a day with multiple qualified candidates to choose from. Cost-effective growth? Well, instead of hiring full-time, Upwork helps find affordable, top-tier freelancers to scale my business efficiently. Visit Upwork.com right now. Post your job for free. That's Upwork.com. Connect with top talent and grow your business today. All right, we are back, and you know what time it is, folks. It is time for the player of the game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
All right, not much to choose from, so we'll go with Cody Bellinger. As we said, his 200th home run of his career. He's now hitting 200 on the nose. Bellinger had a hit today. Also struck out, again, raising his average to 200. So, again, it has not been a big season for Bellinger. But, again, kudos to him. We'll call it a double player of the game. Want to give it to Bellinger for the 200th home run. And, obviously, Yorbi Vivas, his very first major league hit, turned out to be a 2-run single, a clean single, a shot off the bat of 100 miles an hour. So, again, congrats to Bellinger on the 200th home run. Also got the Yankees back into the game despite the fact that they did not overcome. It seemed like they were running in place really all day today between the defense, the rain, the pitching, the weak offense. Yeah. Anyways, Vivas will also get our player of the game nod, again, with his first major league hit. Anthony Volpe's X-rays and MRI, good news according to Aaron Boone. Obviously, Volpe didn't play today, but it looks like they dodged a major bullet with that left shoulder. Boone said that today the shoulder was a, quote, little cranky, which is why, 1, he didn't start, 2, he didn't play, and 3, he didn't replace anybody in that weird 8th inning. DJ LeMahieu played 7 innings at second base in his 6th rehab game with Somerset. Boy, could he use DJ today. LeMahieu went for 3 with a single, a walk, and scored a run. All right, as for the probables coming up against a very difficult opponent in the San Diego Padres, 7 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 7 o'clock, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. As we said, Monday will be Rodon and Pivetta. Excellent pitching matchup. Tuesday, this is where Clark Schmidt gets penciled in. He, of course, was supposed to start yesterday, pushed back because of left side soreness. Again, MRI clean. He's good to go for Tuesday. He'll face, you guessed it, his former teammate, Michael King. And he's been excellent for San Diego. On Wednesday, another great pitching matchup. Max Fried, who's been brilliant, Dylan Cease for San Diego. By the way, speaking of Max Fried, the Yanks are 7-0 when he pitches. The Yanks are now 12-15 when anyone else starts. So, again, we've got to get going when Fried isn't on the mound. It also puts into perspective just how crippling, and I know we got to get past it, but just how crippling that Garrett Cole injury was. Max Fried was not signed to be the ace. He's pitching like one, and he is one this year because of the injury to Cole. But imagine where the Yankees would be with Cole and Fried back-to-back. All right, Yanks lose 7-5. 2 hits for Trent Grisham, the only Yankee with multiple hits on the afternoon. As we said, Yanks had 5 hits on Saturday, 8 today, but 6 singles, just 2 extra base hits. The home run from Bellinger, which was a bomb, and the double, which was a seed from Judge in the 8th inning, which split the right center field gap. Again, Bradley the win, Warren the loss, Fairbanks the save. And again, the Yanks are now 19-15 and 11-7 at home. All right, thanks for making Locked On Yankees your first listen today. For your second listen, check out the all-new Locked On MLB Game Night. Every game, every night, all season long. Get local analysis on a national scale. Find MLB Game Night on Locked On MLB on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. Also want to mention our partners in crime, Stacey Gotsulias and Brian McKeon. They're the best. They handle all the stuff at Locked On Yankees. So follow, subscribe, and enjoy. Yanks lose 7-5. They lose 2 of 3 to the Rays in the series. And again, the Yanks just 19-15 on the season, despite the fact that they are in first place in the American League East. Once again, they'll go for win number 20 on the season on Monday, again against the Padres, first of 3 in the stadium. Thanks for joining. Have a great Sunday evening, everyone.